I hope you'll all bear with me as this video is split up into multiple parts because as I was recording, just things happen and you'll see along the journey in today's production, today's show. But my favorite part is when I drove 2 hours away to a different state, and I go to edit finally. I sit down and, well, one of the files corrupted. So this is part 6, the re-recording of the first half of the video or so. Yeah. In my first intro, I had about 9 bracelets. I had 9 bracelets total. And I put 4 on each arm, and I had 1 on display here. But this past weekend, I gave 2 away to family. Let's set this here. And we can start today's video. So piggybacking off the success of my Eras video, we're back this week with
another Taylor video.
Shout out to Mags for this one. I remember recommendations being dropped in that video and the A2K one, so I will be releasing recommended content the next few weeks alongside things I of course want to tackle from my own brain and heart. But back to Mags here. If we focus in on the postscript, you'll see that I was recommended the All Too Well short film if I haven't seen it. And I haven't seen it. But the title is not merely nonsense, as I was recommended the video back in early 2022 by someone I used to be close with, and watched the VMAs that year when it won Best Direction and Video of the Year. Taylor's always been around. All Too Well though is pretty fitting since most of my content is movie related.
And this is a short film.
I love Sadie Sink. That's the video. Okay, I first have to say that I love the look of the film. I watched it on my TV and there's always something that doesn't process too well on YouTube, especially when you're viewing it on a bigger screen. So you know what I did? I plopped it on my laptop and my phone for a second though, and it looked like the quality it deserved to look. I think Dylan O'Brien and Sadie Sink did a pretty good job considering the subject material of a relationship with a 10-year age gap. We see the story begin as the couple takes an upstate getaway, which, let me say, I forgot about this first title transition, so as I was watching the video, I was just wondering to myself,
is she just living with this guy in a cabin?
And speaking of that title transition, I love it when media sections their work off into parts or arcs. And unfortunately, I can't think of anything that does that, except Zack Snyder's Justice League. So on their getaway, they're taking this nice walk on a trail through a beautiful ass forest, and then this happens. Needless to say, I was completely devastated at the sight of this, and I'll be remembering this scene all too well further along the line. This scene is totally needed because it shows how deep into lovey-dovey they are, and because right after, we're hit with the next part. I love this font too. Seems fitting with the whole cozy aesthetic, and the capitalization really shoves the words in your face. And before Homeboy does his controversial stunts, I wonder, and I must ask, how is she feeling in this moment? I myself prefer not to be in these friendly situations where everybody's a stranger, and prefer to familiarize myself with somebody one-on-one. I don't know, just something more intimate. And why would he plan a reunion with friends and then bring his girl along? Or why would he bring his girl somewhere and then plan the reunion? Okay, we'll pick this back up in a moment. Let him do his stunt.
You on the T-ball team. You told me about your past, thinking your future.
Alright, I actually laughed here when I was playing it back for script writing. Her face is in absolute disgust because he took her hand off and patted it. Oh my god. Did this motherfucker really just do that? Oh man, he throws the keys at her. He throws a masculine rage on the phone, and then we get the one long scene with dialogue, and I do want to comment on some of this here.
Why are you so pissed off?
I'm not pissed off. Who said I was pissed off?
Because you're acting pissed off. It's ridiculous.
You're acting pissed off. It's ridiculous. Okay, buddy. Actually, buddies, both of you are in the wrong so far. Why the hell is she not bringing up her problem and making him wonder and guess? And I guess that he could have asked her what was wrong instead of placing an emotion onto her, which is, why are you pissed? He's claiming that she's pissed. What am I doing? I used to be all about movies.
These are my friends. They were super fucking nice to you, too.
No, I liked your friends. I never said I didn't like your friends.
Why
I
were
didn't
you
like
being-
the way that you acted around them.
You were being weird and quiet the
And there it is. Did not like the way you acted with them.
entire time.
I was not being weird because you wouldn't
Yes, you
look at me.
were. Oh, come on.
You'd
that's
ask me one thing the entire night.
Such bullshit. That's such bullshit.
You dropped my fucking hand.
She says to him, you could have looked at me. You could have asked me something. You dropped my hand. Now we're starting to pick up back on the subject of bringing her along for a reunion dinner. It seems that she was definitely down to meet his old friends, and she did end up liking them, and she loved them. So her principal thought was, okay, why not? I'll tag along. But what she did not expect was for his behavior to be subpar to her expectations. Oh yeah, this bracelet says AMC on it. I did not introduce that in the beginning. Okay, that concludes the re-recording. This it's Sunday, November 12th, a year from when this video dropped. And I recorded the rest of this Thursday. My phone just ran out of space, but as a person that appreciates his friends, honey, you know damn well you were never gonna get most of his attention. I know he didn't look at you, which is extreme, but us humans have this tendency to act a certain way around certain people, especially if they are old friends. You tend to revert to that person you used to be. He is lost in the sauce of good times and just wants to be balls deep lost. Here on this channel, we try our best to support men. He accuses her of being too weird and quiet, which I'm pretty sure there's been a certain point in time for everybody where you've been in a group and you're the silent fucker. It happens to the best of us.
What am I supposed to do with that?
I didn't even fucking notice. What are you talking
I
about?
don't know
dropped your
any
hand.
of these people. They're all strangers. They're all older than me.
But like, what are you
I
talking?
feel so out of place. You're the only one
You're
that makes
making
me
this
feel
about
comfortable.
you.
You won't
I'm
even
like,
look at me.
I'm catching up with friends. You're literally saying I dropped your hand. Like, I don't even remember the moment that you're talking about.
I said this earlier, big ass group of strangers, and in this case, older strangers. And the one person that you're familiar with is not there trying to include you in the moment. And the whole time she's talking about the hand dropping and he's just clueless. I love it. It was the most autopilot thing ever for him to do. Like he had just put something in his mouth and his knee-jerk reaction is, get this paw off me. And look at this, I had to take these off and now these three have a freaking string sticking out. It's so disgusting. It's getting hot in here though, and I don't know who's in the wrong. I want to play the middle ground and say that there's fault on both ends.
How can you be like attacking me about something I don't even like fucking know? I was doing it subconsciously. I was catching up
Don't
with
do that.
people.
You're making me feel fucking stupid.
Holy shit. I don't think I'm making you feel that way. I think you're making yourself feel that way. Literally a moment that I don't even fucking remember.
You didn't even look at me once.
What are you
didn't look at
talking
me.
about? I didn't
Oh,
look at
no,
you.
no,
I'm catching up
no,
with my friends.
Trust me.
The guy on one hand is being calm, no rage, no anger, no red flag warnings. He's just chatting up with old friends and subconsciously did something he forgot about. And on the other hand, she feels like a ghost because of him. He's not necessarily evil, she just wanted to be seen by him amongst the orgy he was having. Although I will say this blew up because of her. I'm out. I'm gone.
Come on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Would someone view his behavior as toxic and or gaslighting? Is he being manipulative only by saying sorry after she cries? They hug it out for the rest of the scene as the music leads us into Title 3, hinting that we will see them have some good old good times. I actually started getting invested in these characters around here. That last scene was pretty impactful, only for the cliche of all good things must come to an end to interrupt in part 4. By this point, we saw them get through a hard time and I wanted them to succeed. Why oh why must we be told a story with such a sad low? I mean, look at her. That takes energy from the heart. Just wanted to hug her at this point. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what's going on here. This line right here must be so devastating as well in hindsight.
He said if we had been closer in age, maybe it would have been fine.
Why is Sean Levy in this? That's randomly cool. And what I like about this scene is now you see her with her own friends and people her age, and it really is a difference. Sadie's siblings are featured here, so I'm sure everyone was excited. Part 5 welcomes us with this nice in-bed transition. And before we reel back into my camera view, Part 6 shows us Dylan's point of view of suffering and the good times they had. Like, why did it even end? Seriously, she just went up to his serious ass one day, and then that was the end of it. God, this movie sucks. I gotta shit. Oh, what a sad time this is. Doesn't it make you just reflect on your own experiences? Especially if you're like me, where you watched it back and you replayed some parts. This short film is a breeding ground for what's negative nostalgia? Trauma? That same person that recommended me this video almost 2 years ago, who's no longer in cahoots with me.
I've been thinking of them.
The final part, 13 years gone.
I'm a soldier who's returning half her weight.
I love that the lyrics are really just being the dialogue of the film, as Taylor is singing, I'm a soldier who's returning half her weight. And did the twin flame bruise paint you blue? Just between us, did the love affair maim you too? Indicating that time has passed. Our redhead character is at her book release, and Sadie has become Taylor. Looking like Scarlett Johansson right here, as the camera soon goes overhead and the music turns more sincere on some time after time shit, because bad blood is gone and our male character glances from outside and walks away. Ugh, I love this song now. It definitely goes harder with the film, and I don't think I would have appreciated the outro of this song if it weren't for the combination. I'm just really digging the execution of song and film.
Do you remember it all too well?
Why didn't he go in though? I hate when they do this in shows and movies. The girl they're eyeing is right there, and they're having some sort of heated argument, and instead of just going after her or turning her around and just saying something, they just, like a freaking cuck. Or B, they glance or they see the person from a distance, as in this case, she's inside, he's outside. And instead of just going and say something to the person that they want, they care for so much, they just, knowing deep down he just wants to holla. I've never heard the 5-minute version of this song, and I've never heard the original one released 11 years ago. 11 years sounds so insane to say. This short film released on November 12th, 2021, almost 2 years ago to the day, maybe day of, depending on when I finish editing. It has 92 million views and has so much claim and adoration and just love in the comments. I think this is a fine outro to keep in tune with the rest of the conclusion. So leave a comment if you want to discuss All Too Well, or leave a recommendation for some other Taylor content, and subscribe if you want to see the rest of that. Love what you like, my friends. I just hit 300 subscribers recently, and I'm feeling real good about this all. Did the twin flame paint, and did the blue flame paint you blue? Bruise paint you blue. Just between us,